We're always here ready to share our webcams. We've been working on this for like 3 or 4 years, and we just don't do a lot of marketing. A lot of crypto is people shilling things on Twitter, and we refuse to pay people to shill the brand. We do hope that you will all help spread the word. So if you post your referral link, which you can get inside your, in fact, actually, no, this is probably a really good time to talk about the referral links because we're all sitting here anyways. And if you're still here, it means you probably love Koii. I'll share my screen really quick. This is the Koii node, as you know. Wow, like 415 nodes in the mask task. That's pretty exciting. So if you go over to the settings page here, you've got this referral link. If you share this with people, which I'm going to share mine in the chat right now, if you click through this, not only do you get free tokens, which is pretty spectacular, but if you click through my link, I get tokens too. And so we set this up to help you guys actually earn some tokens from helping share the brand. And the idea here is that rather than us going and paying a bunch of influencers on Twitter to shill the product, we'd rather have all of you actually help us spread the word. You can post this link on Reddit, Twitter, in other Discords that you might be part of, anywhere you are on the internet, and you'll get rewarded indefinitely. And so if it's on Reddit or something like that and it gets popular, or if it's in a blog post that you write on Medium, that's evergreen, and you'll keep getting Koii tokens every time somebody clicks through it forever, which is pretty amazing. And they'll keep getting tokens too. So the whole idea here is to help the community actually earn this, which is why we haven't promoted it too heavily, because we want all of you to earn those rewards instead of giving them to a bunch of already very wealthy influencers. Nothing against Twitter influencers by any means. If there's anybody here that is kind of active in that space, it just doesn't seem like a great use of our funds at this stage of the project. And so our goal is really more to get all of you involved and get you as many of the tokens as we can. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Try out the link though, and you can actually go and look through it. I see. I'm still confused on what network will Koii be live on. So we have our own L1. We are working with D-Bridge and a few other like major bridging protocols. So we'll have bridging available through the Finnie wallet and through some other products. And then, yeah, it's my own link. I mean, you can post your link in here if you want to as well, and then you can get some rewards. YE with the mummy face. I like that outfit, by the way. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know we could do those. The main thing being, you can get, you can't get euros unless that's like a sub token. We are planning on launching stablecoins, but the network has to be live before we can launch stablecoins. So you can't have a stablecoin on a network that has no tangible value. That's why we're working so hard on the listing right now. So the more nodes that we get, the more friends you invite, the closer we get to being able to list the token. We'd like to do a pretty sizable launch. And what we're going to be doing as well for the actual token launch is we'll be gating the token launch and the actual pre-sale. And so if you have been running a node, you'll be eligible to buy into the launch as well and get even more tokens. We'll probably be gating those tickets at like $250 or $500. So it should be pretty accessible to everybody. And we want to keep it pretty fair so that the community has a chance to buy in. Then I do see, what about the network? So since we're still here and we're waiting for Stefan, I can share some stuff on that as well. If you go to our docs portal, which you can get to from the website, we've got Koii.network, you click docs up here. There's a what is Koii section, which is probably worth giving a quick glance to. The main thing you'll find on here, though, is if you go down to the K2 section, there's all this information about K2, which is our settlement layer. And it's actually a fork of Solana, and we use proof of history. So the reason we picked Solana for this is it's a massively wide bandwidth chain. So we can do a lot more with a lot less. We don't have to pay as many inflation rewards to get like a highly scalable blockchain. And that means that for all of you who are participating, you can actually get free tokens by delegating your existing tokens onto one of these L1 nodes. And it also means that we can scale the consensus quite a bit larger than we could with an EVM chain. You also get really fast transactions, which is why like the node and Finnie wallet are very quick. And the gas fees are going to be a lot lower. So instead of paying a lot of gas fees to miners and having a lot of miner extracted value, MEV, you're going to be able to actually get that as task rewards. Because really, when we look at somebody like Mask coming in, we want them to be able to pay out to you guys, the node operators, directly. And so if we have a lot of gas fees, then instead of Mask paying you, they're actually paying some miner to run the blockchain. And if we ran this on Ethereum or Polygon or with these other networks, all of those fees would be going to the miners instead of going to you guys who are the ones providing the compute value. So as it stands, we only need about 10 or 15 nodes to run the blockchain part. We've already got, I think, about 8 on this network currently, and all of our investors have committed to running these nodes as well. So we should have a lot of those online by mainnet. Let me see. Oh, wow. We got a whole bunch more questions. Let's see. Default currency. Select the exchange currency displayed next to your tokens and transactions. I see. Yeah, so there is no fiat option right now because Koi isn't being traded. So you can't sell it because there's no exchange to sell it on. After the listing in March, we'll have fiat options and on and off ramp as well. So you'll be able to cash out your tokens. And then I see a couple more questions. Out of the original 10 million, what percent will you airdrop? What percent will you keep for company? So there's no company for Koi. I want to be very clear about that. This is not a for-profit. So we have a foundation in Gibraltar, which is like an appropriate tax jurisdiction. So it won't end up like kind of falling into one country or another controlling Koi. And the whole reason for doing that is that the tokens are held in the foundation as a nonprofit and they'll be distributed to you guys. So when you're running these tasks, any of the tasks that you're currently running on the node, these are all coming out of grants. So we gave a grant to Mask so that they can actually pay out these tokens to you. And this 8,000 that's remaining in the bounty pool is getting given out to you guys as a reward. These are coming from grants that we gave to these companies. These in turn though are coming from the foundation and you can earn them because we're giving them out to people. So all of that is airdrops and a pre-mine for all of you. In fact, actually pretty much all of the tokens are going towards this. More than half of the supply from the 10 billion is going into the foundation, which will basically be owned by all of you, the token holders. And we're really not keeping any of it for Koi Labs. In fact, the early team have tokens, but we get them over like a 5-year period, and we can't actually get any of them for 6 months after the listing. So you all get your tokens a lot sooner than we do, and we don't get them, basically we don't get all of them until about 5 years after the token launch. And then as for the roadmap, I can try to show that one as well. I think we have a pretty good one that's been up here for a while. Let me see if I've got it here. This is, no, that's Modi. Here, I'll find that and then I'll show it to you guys in a second here. And then I see my question was, what percentage will be given to the public in total? Okay, so we're not giving away any tokens. That's the whole point. You have to earn them by running a node. So we're not going to give you the tokens. You can buy them on the public sale. If you do buy them, the money that you spend on them will go into a treasury, which is owned by the token holders through the foundation. So the idea here is to have a digital autonomous corporation that all of you are part of. So if you run a node and you earn tokens right now, that's getting a piece of the token supply. 50% of the tokens go towards that. About 15% is reserved for R&D. There's a big chunk of them that's going towards people who are in the community. So if you wanted to launch a project on Koi, even if it's like an NFT drop or something fun for people to do, like a game, or if you wanted to even have an initiative, like you want to run a town hall, we'll give you tokens for running those kinds of things. We're not just going to give them to you as an airdrop because that would just be sort of a waste. We'd just be giving them away then. We're really trying to create value more than anything. We have also another component of that goes towards R&D. So if you wanted to like contribute to the GitHub, you can get tokens for doing that. But yeah, a very small slice of this, only 19% is actually going to investors. And I think 12% is going to the team. So the rest of it, 70% or so, goes to the community in different forms. It's just, it's broken up amongst a bunch of different options, which is intentional to try and get people to actually participate. Yeah, so why I think what you're asking is like 70% of the token supply is going towards the community. You can get those by getting grants, running the task node, participating in small airdrops, which is things like this, but really those are probably the smallest way that you can get involved. The biggest one is if you wanted to launch a project on Koi, the ecosystem fund is now getting backed by a bunch of tier 1 VCs. So in addition to giving you Koi tokens to help you support your project, we can also give you cash, and then you can pay your bills and build something really cool. Can everyone become a K2 consensus validator runner? Yes, you can. The whole point is that you can create any of this stuff yourself. So there's no barrier to entry on any of this. The only thing that you would need is a computer to run it on. What I would suggest though is if you're going to set up a K2 validator, you need probably about 100,000 Koi tokens to make it profitable. And so if you don't have 100,000 Koi tokens, what I would suggest doing is getting the community to back you. So you can post in our Discord or the Telegram, and you can try to get friends to come and actually delegate their tokens to your K2 node. There's a whole guide on that as well. Also on the same docs portal that I mentioned earlier, there's a whole section on how to use a K2 node and how to delegate stake. And if you can't find that, you can contact us on Discord, and we'll try to get it to you. Is the Finnie wallet owned by Koii Labs too? Yes, the Finnie wallet is also our product. We built it completely for free, and we don't make any money off it. Took us something like 10,000 man hours to actually design and build the thing. But yeah, it's just there to help make things a lot easier for you guys. We hopefully in later term will eventually add fiat on and off ramps, at which point we might make money off it. But similar to MetaMask, it is completely non-profit at the moment. And I see, can I already integrate it in my project to run AI models like Stable Diffusion? Yeah, so if you wanted to run something like Stable Diffusion, you wouldn't run it as a current Koii task, you'd run it as an Orca task. But you should be able to start running Orca tasks next week after 3.8 comes out. And then, yeah, you just would need to get in touch with the Orca team. If you post in our Telegram or our Discord, the Orca team is pretty responsive. Avishek was on last week's session, and he's usually pretty quick to help. We also have a couple people like, you might have seen the team from Brevi presenting last week, Amit, and Brevi is working on doing something very similar to this. They're not using Stable Diffusion, they're using Llama, but running LLMs on Koii is not that complicated. It's just a matter of getting an LLM runtime that can actually operate on the system. Yeah. Oh, and the mobile app for Finnie is coming soon. We are trying to get integrated with more Solana wallets because, like I said, we're not making any money off this because Koii is not a for-profit. So it'd be better if other people who already have wallets can integrate Koii. But you know, it's a matter of time. These things all get a lot easier after the listing because then the Koii token has value to people. So fiat on and off ramps become possible revenue streams, and a lot of this gets a lot easier. As much as we love building this stuff, we're basically all volunteers and have been for the last few months. So it all gets a lot easier after the token listing. Really at this point, the key thing I'd suggest for all of you though, is try to share those referral codes around, and that's gonna make things a lot easier. I think Stefan should be just about ready. I'm gonna go give him a quick call. And if not, then we can go over the latest roadmap and stuff as well. Keep dropping those questions into the chat though, and I'll hop back on and we can help you out. And one sec, sorry. Can I assign my team nodes as a priority if we are gonna run our GPUs with nodes and use external only in case our nodes are unavailable? Oh, it looks like I'm getting a call from Stefan. If you wanted to set your team as the only nodes that you want to work with, it's actually not very hard to do. So all you need to do that is in your Koii task, when you go to run it, you just set certain pub keys that are allowed to stake on that task. And if it's not one of those pub keys, then they can't join. So you'd make a list of your team's pub keys, and then those would be the only people who'd actually be allowed to run the task. So we can actually help you do that. If you get in touch on Discord or Telegram, there's actually a couple of dev shops that are working with Koii right now, and they're all pretty happy to help with that kind of stuff too. I'm gonna go call Stefan back and see if we can get him into the Gather Town, and hopefully we'll get to hear from Trueflation quite shortly. Thanks for all of these great questions, guys. It's a good discussion.